Friday afternoons off. That's not a free day. And then what happens? About what time Friday afternoon would a person take off, do you think? If you 5 o'clock, when everybody else is gone. So if you're going to take a half day off, take it in the morning. But that's not a free day. I think everybody should work a 4-day week. Back in the day, like in the early 90s, I was seeing how instead of laying people off, and then you've got, one empty spot in your business. I was in law. So it was, professional service in an office. So instead of laying people off, where that was happening at that time, and now you've got one fewer person in the office, so that means everybody else has to do more work, and let's say it's a small office, so you've gone now down to one person. That person now has to do so much work. So my suggestion is that you've got this overhead anyway, right? You're paying for the building 365 days of the year. You've got to heat it, not as much during the night, in the winter sort of thing, but you've got all this overhead. Why don't we change the whole world, and for one position you have 2 people, you have, one person works 3 days a week, and it could be 3 10-hour days, 3 11-hour days, 3 days a week, 1 week, 4 days a week the next week. There's 7 days right there, right? I worked that way myself. I did that because that's the way I started in this one position, and then when my kids, because my younger daughter was not yet in school, and then when my kids were off in the summertime, I would go back to that, and that's the way I worked, and it was awesome. And even the lawyer I was working with said, your productivity is probably the highest of anybody I know. And I said, what do you think makes it that way? And he said, I don't know, is that you? And I said, well, sure, it's me to a certain extent, but why do I always love my job so much? It's a job. Why do I love it so much? It's because I have the freedom and the flexibility to work in a way that works for me and my family. I never missed my children's activities at school. I was there for every single one.
That's awesome.
And I did real estate. So if there was a real estate closing on that day, I was there for that real estate closing. We just worked out that their activities were never on real estate closing days, I guess. But maybe there was the odd time where the lawyer would do it in my place, if necessary. But that's the sort of thing, that's the kind of freedom and flexibility that I think all employees should have. You're so much more productive. Fridays you don't show up for the morning and have the afternoon. Experience it, see, just get the results from it. One, you don't get the day, you're still at work and you're still in work mode the rest of the day, but you will not get out of there right after the meeting, I bet. Your subconscious mind is already telling you, oh, that won't work for us. We're going to do it this way, and you've got the feeling, tells you what to think, and then you take the action, and then you get the results, and then you just keep going. You're already identifying the problems that will happen, and they will happen because you're telling yourself they'll happen. So they will. So instead, you schedule something else in there to get you up and get you moving.